We are just waiting on one more person.
Kicking it off back to AGL. What is up, everybody's in this upper bracket? This is what the upper bracket finals, semifinals of the league. Winner punches the ticket, loser goes to the loser bracket. Tonight we got
Yep.
Nokturns versus Blackhole. Bun, how you feeling?
I am feeling good. I mean, this is definitely going to be one hell of a matchup here tonight. As you said, neither of these teams are going home quite yet here. One of these will advance to the finals bracket, while the other one will go down to lower bracket, which in turn does give a chance for some of these teams to eventually come back and play in that finals bracket if they do win in that lower bracket and have a little bit of a comeback match. Now, we do have one team already that I know of that is very much looking for that comeback, which would be Dads & Co., which we're going to be seeing them play on Friday. And that would be Dads & Co. versus Lunar. Both of those teams looking to keep moving forward there in the lower bracket. And it'll be also quite the rematch, as Lunar was a team that originally sent Dads & Co. to lower bracket here. So really excited for that game on Friday here. And then from there, whichever team wins from that one will be playing either of these teams. And we also have a team getting sent home Friday. So a lot is going to be happening on this week. But I mean, I definitely could see this going OT and possibly even going all three maps.
I could definitely see this map setup going all three, especially when we got a pool that looks like this. Fortress, Chalet, and Bank. I mean, I don't want to be here for map one, but I'm not feeling well enough for a Fortress map.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have to say I am excited when it comes to Fortress. It's one of the few maps that I have honestly really enjoyed watching these teams and seeing them learn more about Fortress, figure out these little kinks and stuff in the map, and then eventually just get to a comfortable state here.
Yeah,
But
it
it
looks
does
like.
look like these teams are ready to go if you want to
Yeah, I
get
think we
ready to
should
get
just
into
dive
it
right
here.
into Fortress here, because these teams have been ready to go for a hot minute.
Alrighty, and I'm gonna click this a nice a little begin now. Fortress, I still haven't seen enough of it to have a full idea of what we might see, but we've seen a zombie bands, clash bands, even back to your basics of just hard breach, shields, cages, bandits, etc. So I'm really curious to see what these teams are specifically going to focus on here, maybe even those yings and grams, but it really is going to come down to what these teams feel comfortable playing against. And just as I'm talking about it, we are going to see that Ying and Kate off the board. So a little bit of a classic mixed with something that's kind of been more of a recent ban that I've been seeing going on more than just, hard breach bans. We've been seeing a lot of Ying and Grim.
Yeah, the Ying and Grim kind of plays into pulling that utility off the board, getting your team, as a defense, you don't have to worry. Your power positions are safe for a lot longer. There goes the Monty and the Bandit. It looks like Blackhole want to just deny that heavy frontal push. Meanwhile, Nocturnes, they're going to be bringing some heavy hard breach for this.
Definitely, as we already are going to see a Thermite being brought into play here, which they don't really have anything to hold up against these walls now, so walls are going to be completely free for the picking as long as they're able to get to them here. And also, I'm going to see a Solid Snake pick coming out, which I'm really excited to see how that'll play here. Fortress is a great map for a Solid Snake here, and I mean, just in general, most maps have been absolutely amazing for this character, as he's still being brought into play occasionally. Players are learning how to use his util and everything. It's been a real joy just to see how these players incorporate him into their strats here. And I mean,
10 seconds left.
he's a little bit like a Deimos, but like with like
5 seconds left.
kind of like Jackal vibes almost in a sense. Like,
I'm getting Deimos with a better gun, but not quite the actual instant target pick. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I
Oh,
was thinking more like a Jackal. It's because, you know, Jackal, you do see those footprints, so you kind of know a rough estimate of where these people were running around to and stuff like that. Now, granted, he is completely in his league of his own. And a heavy setup coming out here inside of games here from Tadix on the Azami. So it looks like we're going to see a very heavy roam hold over here. Toxic as well with that DMR nearby, which, I mean, we're not surprised to see him on a DMR.
a very heavy roam hold though is very easily countered by the Blackbeard, which we're seeing take Old Tower now. He's got Snake on his 6, and these two are gonna heavy push immediately for hallway. Ymir leading the charge, but there's Mako with first pick up on Tactics, clearing through. They've got games already at their, you know, chomping for it. And there's, I believe, who is that pinned in? Doesn't matter much as Scorpion and Talk's gonna trade lives. Just getting away with his life there. There was Soldier getting the reinforce up on the wall. Soldier, Bun's usual casting duo, gonna be walking his way up. There's Blackbeard straight ahead. The charge coming in. Grenade out. Almost nades himself. But Vera's still able to stay up. Oh, this cast is gonna be a tough one, Bun. We got Fallen and Fallacy in a lobby together, and my tongue is gonna be twisted. Gets the down onto Vera. Mako, though, getting the pickup on the Soldier. He can still get his boy back up, and there is the main breach ripped open. This Nocturns team is moving kind of fast, Bun.
Definitely. And I mean, minute on the board, still a lot can happen here, and we're in a 2v4 situation. Shield is going to get picked up here, which isn't too good for the side of these defenders. So, down goes one, and now everything is up to Fallen here in a 1v4 situation. And first round will end up going to the attackers here.
That was a very, very clear-cut attack route. They had that one mapped out, planned out. They just had to push the execute forward. Only Toxic able to find a kill in that entire round for his team. I think Nocturnes just led the frag power in behind that Blackbeard and were able just to step on the gas.
Definitely. And I mean, that is definitely how you want to start out the map that you chose to go to, which this is Nocturne's map pick here, though we have seen Blackhole played a decent bit of Fortress here. So it definitely, I think, is a map both of these teams seem pretty comfortable on here. Now we are going to see Impulse bringing out a Clash Shield on the defense already here, and then of course Tadix back on the Azami, and an interesting pick from Toxic, bringing out a Tachanka here to play, I would assume, behind the shield in Old Tower there. So
10 seconds to insertion.
I mean, as long as he doesn't get pushed from that window behind, he could
5 seconds
fire
left.
things out quite well and stall things out. Tachanka is almost, in a sense, a one-man army
Objective
kind
is
of
to
with
locate
that
a bomb
fire.
and defuse it.
Well, there's a lot of time to be bought off of this defensive vibe that we're seeing so far. I mean, a Clash, a Smoke, a Tachanka, already a deadly trio. You add in the zombie barricades just for some extra cover, then, you know, give me Fallen somewhere on a tube route. Just gadget out, slow down the breach, or slow down a push entirely. If they don't manage to buy over 2 minutes worth of time here and this doesn't come down to a last minute clutch, there was something that may have failed on the defensive front. But let's see what this attacking team is able to make out of it.
Yep, and I mean, again, we're gonna see Vera on the Blackbeard. Mako already inside of the building here as well, along with Ymir on that glass, and they're already starting to make quite a bit of noise here as they get into it, which I'm honestly expecting we might see a Blackbeard ban coming out into play when that next ban phase comes up.
Yeah, that Blackbeard has been an absolute spearhead of this attack. Putting the thermite right behind him, getting every breach as they go. Just, it stacks up. It adds a lot of pressure in. Soldier, though, going down to Ymir, first pick up on the board. Once again, going to Nocturne's favor. And we got Mako face checking this bathroom, making their way through. They are stabbing a knife right through the center of this defense. running into reinforced walls, but it is no issue for him as Scorpion is still up with all of his, well, one of his thermite charges left. And that's now going to be the bathroom wall, assuming Two-Brow doesn't slow it down just for a little bit longer. And he's not able to get it. The charge falls close to the other side of the wall. Breach was on right, charge went left. Bad nade, but Impulse is still up. That class shield now going to be that main point for this defensive front and briefing room. They got to keep him up behind, and Fallen going to hit a nice rip onto Yojin. Mako to go down to Fallen as well. The DMR singing out, laying rounds. And now he's trying to maybe chow out Ymir here. As Ymir comes in for a swing, Fallen still holds the pixel onto him. And finds the 3K. Almost finding floor as Tadix will walk away with that one. Now it's Scorpion up to the 1v4. However, that Thermite AR is a good one to play with, but Tadix going to lay a little bit of damage over. The Clash is still up, and she is an annoyance. Gets Tadix as he swings up for Scorpion. Now he's just playing the angles around, but Impulse is right there to get Blackhole their defensive win.
Yep, and definitely a win that they need here on the defense now, putting us a 1-1 here. And into our next round. I mean, Fallen absolutely just letting that DMR sing, and honestly, looking a lot better on their defense for that second round.
Oh yeah, way better in that second round there. That defense held out pretty well. I mean, Nocturns, though, not slouches at taking space. So far, we've seen them clear this map sub 1 minute every single round. And with Vera still having that Blackbeard on board, I got a feeling it's going to be gone after this. But while he's got it, they're going to abuse that and just take the power strat forward. Now, a lot of, like, Fortress, it is controlled by power points around the map. There's hallways that you got to hold, rooms you got to control. But that Blackbeard has just been an absolute game wrecker moving forward.
Definitely. And again, you know, we're going to see them bringing out the Blackbeard here. Vera sticking on him, and it looks like they are aware of the fact that they aren't going to be needing any hard reach here. Mako swapping on to a buck here, and I'm expecting a very heavy top clear from the side of Nocturnes as they get into this map here. Now, as well, we are going to see one of these bands that you typically would see here with that Ying pair is a Grim here, who could be huge to get some intel into sight from some floor holes or just push some people out of their positions.
They spray through the wall to get Grim as the first pick, though, for Tadix. Heating up the start of this round, going to the defensive blend. They are keeping a very good bit of presence upstairs between Fallen and Tadix. Dude, they need to figure out to get these roamers out quick, I think. Unless it's a direct push, which I don't think it's going to be. They're just going to burn a lot of time on drones, see who they can find, and then push from there. But Vera's still up on Blackbeard. That's going to be their space taker. Sucks to lose your Grim, but start pulling map control, right?
And I mean, getting into it here, it looks like they have definitely slowed out a little bit, taking their time here now as they go start to open up these floors here. Buck already making his way to put some holes here, and if they're not careful, Tadix here is right outside this room here, waiting to try to get a kill. Yojin, though, getting one and running right in front of the Blackbeard here, which he could have gotten a very nice kill onto if he had just waited a few seconds longer.
Tadix going for a little bit of a dance battle there with Vera. Both of them just whipping the melee over the shoulder of the other. They do pick up the kill, but Impulse able to find Ymir from, I believe, a vert hole. And Toxic now going to be dropping off his little bit of a push up rim that he was making. 3v3, they have vertical control. I'm really surprised that they brought a Blackbeard, or sorry, a Buck instead of the Ram here, though.
Yeah, I mean, definitely it could just be a thing of, you know, they want that gun and they enjoy how the Buck works here, you know. It could be a number of different things. Every team does have their own preferences here, though. Blackbeard now here being that first spearhead, going up against the Azami here, which Azami just continuing to keep him out of bathroom here. Focusing a bit too much there as Toxic gets a nice double kill, and everything is now left up to Yojin here.
Yojin drop, got a nice pickup on Impulse, but Soldier right there for the refrag for his buddy. That was a great play out of Toxic to get that double swing. I was trying to flip my cam to him. I just couldn't get it over there in time. Blackhole now leading this map. I don't know, man. If you're Nocturns and you lose your map pick, it plays in the favor of how Siege always works out. You never really win your map pick, oddly enough, but I don't know. It might be a little bit of a sting.
Definitely, definitely. You know, getting into our next band here, and again, like I said, you know, I'm expecting to see an Azami Blackbeard band coming out here. Now, I'm a little off. I will get that Blackbeard. Clash off the board, though, as well, which is that other shield counter in a sense. You know, Clash is amazing to counter Monty's, Blackbeards, and Blitzes, as her shots will actually move their shields out of the way so that you end up getting killed if somebody else is swinging at the same time.
Protect your bombs from being defused
So
by attackers.
now it does leave another pick on the board, which we're gonna actually finally see be brought into play here, which is that Mira, and I'm really curious to see how this is gonna play out here, bringing that Mira on the board, and I'm expecting we're gonna see again another very kind of roamy, further out hold here from the side of Blackhole here, as they do have that Mira on board, and you know, it's just something you expect with her. You're able to hold a lot of information and kind of just stall things out with her.
Yeah, Mira is really good for a map like this because you rely so heavily on just holding space around the map. You don't actually need to be aggressive and swing off it. Just keep your body there, have some util, that way you can, you know, watch, hold down, not worry quite as much. And she's real good for that. But as you're saying, they're going to be bringing a spread out defense upstairs, and really that's the only way to hold Fortress. You just got to play bodies all around. It's like Border. You can't bunker to site because you allow way too much pressure to build up on those doors. This blitz here out of Vera this time is a big pick. I mean, you lose your Blackbeard, you bring someone who's almost more aggressive, just not quite as feasible.
Definitely. And shots already getting fired through some of these holes in the floor there. Soldier above. And then now as well, this Mira Impulse getting taken down from said holes by Ymir, which gives the first pick, but an instant refrag from Soldier there, as this goes back 4-4 here now. And that's your hard breach off the board.
They have no other hard breach utility either. They are smoking off heavily for the walk up from Fallen, or from Vera. One of those smokes lands, but now Soldier's out of them, and you are very early on in this round to be fully out of smokes, but he's pulling now close shotgun. Vera right there waiting, runs down for him. Instead, he runs straight into Ymir and Vera. Vera gonna pick that kill up. It's a smart idea for a play, just I think he got stunned out, you know, and was not expecting that Blitz to be playing quite as aggressive as he was, because Vera immediately dropped shield and started letting rounds fly. Smoking out their hallway for coverage, they run up. We see Ymir swinging right behind. Yojin did find Toxic there now with his Tactics up to a 1v3, 1v2 as he makes his own fate. And let's see what he can clutch himself into. This is still Blackhole's round. There's time now starting to tick down in their favor. Grenades, though, flying towards Tactics. A long angle over onto Yojin, going to deal some damage, but he is trapped on this half wall by Ymir. Damage laying back to him. Yojin there to finish the kill as Nocturns tries to reverse this map around and bring it now to 2-2.
Yeah, definitely. And I will say definitely a great round there from Nocturnes to bring him back up. But again, if this does go in the favor where Blackhole is the one bringing a round up, forcing Nocturnes to have to bring up a round in favor immediately after, this will end in an 8-7 for Blackhole. Which, I have to say that they have to figure a way to be able to turn this around here a little bit, and hopefully we might see that on the defense here. So I'm definitely starting to expect that we're going to see a 3-3 split though in this map.
Yeah, right now the way the map is playing, it's hard to call what side it actually favors. Now a good attack usually They push through fast, they clear a bunch of the map, and they just overpressure the power plays, the power positions. A good defense is all about just, holding out as long as you can and not dropping into sight. So far, both teams have demonstrated that they have that basic concept and grasp of the map, but it has just been all up to these 50-50 gunfights that is, I mean, not even a swing or be swung situation, but a power play where you have to swing or else you're gonna get overpowered.
Definitely. And I mean, they gotta make something work out of it here, though. I have to say, I'm not gonna be disappointed if this does go 3-3 and we see this go OT.
Nah, OT would not be a bad call for map 1. It just sucks that it has to be on Fortress.
Understandable, understandable. And a little bit of a spawn peekish watch here from Toxic through the window with that DMR, watching to see if anybody is gonna rappel up there, but they're already, I think, all on top of the building and or inside as well. Now here, as we see Vera leading this rush here again with that blitz. And again, a thermite being brought into play here as they look to start pushing through and try to clear out as much as possible, which they are going to be met here by Fallen and Tadix here. Tadix getting 1 kill already here now and then backing off. And that's your solid snake off the board, actually, which is a huge pick in my opinion, as he has so much info that he can bring here. Now, granted, you still have a blitz to deal with, and on top of that, you have a thermite. So still a lot of utility I have to deal with here, but definitely looking pretty good for the side of Blackhole having that first pick.
That was a great use of sound there by Tadix. Waiting until he heard the Solid Snake kick out his little device and swinging right into it. Impulse gonna get a spray through the smoke into Vera, now shutting down this push so far. We've not seen Nocturns able to take an actual swing in a gunfight, but Yojin now waiting. He has Tadix on his wall, on his door. Tadix did rip a kill out right behind Vera. The shield trying to make the push forward, instead got met with a hail of gunfire. Ymir now moving up. They are locked out of this briefing room because of these Mira plays. And they've got to try and make a play with it, but Impulse going to find another one off his head hole swing, and it's Yojin up to the 1v5. Clutch round moment, but he lays some damage to Toxic. Has that Mira on the other side. That's going to be a hard fight to take. And really, I don't think this is a winnable round in the side of Nocturns. It's not very clutchable here.
In a situation like this, it's a 1v5. You have Miras that you have to deal with, smoke, zombies, and everything. Sadly, I have to agree. I do not think that this is going to go anywhere for the side of Nocturnes here. Sadly, going to probably send a round here, again, in favor of Blackhole. Now, 2 kills being given over to Yojin from a bit of an overswing from 2 of these players, though ultimately getting finished out in the end still, and that continues to lead with Blackhole in the lead here, going 3-2 here. Now 1 round away from also trying to flip this into a 4-2.
A 4-2 on your defense here, I would consider an absolute win. Dropping now down to the downstairs, not bringing any vertical utility, but I got a feeling that's going to change up as soon as they see where the OBJ is at.
Definitely. I'm expecting that we will probably see that buck coming into play here again, more than likely. Again, though, I think we're going to see that blitz stick on the board here and be brought every single round. And already upstairs, 2nd floor here, we have Tadix getting set up here. So I think we're going to have a 2-3 split, basically. 3 players around and or inside, and then again, probably Fallen and Tadix on that roam upstairs, trying to hold things off, which Solus, a huge operator to have for that. As you know, you can see where these teams are droning from, see where they're planning to push, and then possibly get a kill from that.
Well, almost every Nocturne's attack I've noticed has started out on that old tower side of the map. And I wonder if they're going to shy away from that, because, oh, excuse me, we've seen Tadix already over there kind of prepping up. or what kind of plan they have in mind. Now, they do have a very heavy rush setup here between the Grim, the Blitz, and then the Lion. It looks like they're prepping maybe a fast push with it.
Yep. And Impulse here looks like he's going to be the first one to possibly get pushed around a bit here inside of Infirmary, as we see two players here down in the bottom of Infirmary, one being Vera there, who's now going to push in. Smoke going off, Impulse getting one, Fallen getting another here, and that's two off the board here. Now Grim, though, hopping in and not going to be able to get the kill from that Azami there. And that now gets this in a 5-2 situation, which you still have a Dokkaebi and Solid Snake, so something could happen here with the utility, but they have so much they have to clear here now, and every single one of these players was full health here. Now, Yojin getting one, aware of the other behind, but that would be Toxic, who said, you know what? I'm gonna try to play it a little bit safe here, or so. Now, they're aware of this Dokkaebi, and Tadic's able to be the one to get them down. Now, Ymir sneaking into sight here, which, if they're not aware, could give him control of sight, though he doesn't have that diffuser. So, I mean, there's a lot that has to be done here, and a minute on the board to do it.
They all just heavy collapsed right onto Ymir, knowing almost pretty much exactly where he was at that last second, man. I mean, it was a good defense, though. They shut that push down, and really, I think Nocturns funneled themselves into a kill box, because Infirmary, while it is a really, really good take if it's free, Blackhole had all their prep work set up for that.
Definitely. I mean, you had a Smoke and a Zombie playing there instead of Infirmary, which made that basically, as you called it, a kill box there. That Grim found out very quickly as well afterwards, as there was no way he was going to win that gunfight. Now, first two bans off the board, and we are going to see a little bit of a difference here as that shield ban comes out first off rip here, though. Kate is well gone, and are we going to see a duplicate as a bandit gets banned here as well? And are we going to see possibly a Ying ban here? I'm not too sure, but we could see some similarities further coming out from these bans, as we are going to see the bandit off the board, but an interesting pick to take the Brava out.
So I've noticed this as of late. We've been seeing a lot more Brava bans because teams like to run the Denaris, your Thorn Traps, your Aruni Gates, all items just to kind of fill the voids around the map. Stuff that you don't want to have to actively watch or play. Throw some sound cues there, throw some garbage in the corner. Don't worry about what's actually going to happen. Just have the ability to react when it goes off. The Brava nullifies that, so you want to get rid of her. That way you can play a little bit more fast and loose in your defensive style.
I have to agree with that in some sense, though. Granted, I have to also say is that Thorns and Denaris can still be taken away really easily by a Twitch drone. Now, it takes a bit longer because it does take quite a long time for her charges to reload, and you only have 3 of them really starting out. But she could still take care of these Thorns and Denaris, though Aruni Gates you still have to burn.
But you get the sound cue of the Twitch going off. That's what it's all about. Knowing when you're losing it. The Brava drone's way quieter, a little bit stealthier. Plus, it then turns your utility around on you. You don't have to worry about that quite as much. Defenders, they really don't have any way to deal with a hacked Aruni Gate. You know, once it's hacked, you're stuck unless you want to take some damage.
Now, Ymir here on a very interesting, kind of heavy spawn peek here in dorms, as he's watching to see if somebody will be peeking over here, which this Ace, if unsuspecting, could fall trapped to it. Soldier there now with 1 health on the board there. Ymir not quite able to get the kill off there, and leaving him still alive here as they say, alright, you know what? We're gonna move somewhere else.
Yeah, not a bad play from Ymir. I thought for sure he was going to land that kill on the Ace. Maybe one more bullet. Well, I know one more bullet would have done it, but man, those body shots, I thought that should have been enough. But now they have the wall breached open. They are going to start maybe trying to execute and clear off of that. Tadic's dropping down Old Tower. They're droning him in. Soldier now falling right up on his 6th breach over there. And they're making a hard push now through games.
Mira's drones going out here. You have a Capitao fighting through a drone hole here, Fallen taking a little bit of damage, and still in a 5v5 situation now. Sadly, that is going to get dropped to a 4v5. Ymir getting that first pick here on the drone hole, getting
Gets
a
the second
one from Tadix, and at this point, I'm thinking that drone hole is kind of a one-sided drone hole from what it looks like. You don't have as much sight.
Yojin going over, finding that pick on a Toxic. However, Impulse on the glass will catch his refrag. Ymir in position to provide some refrag and coverage for that. Just misses the back of Impulse as he swings out. And Toxic may be laughing a little bit about those drone hole kills.
Now, Vera has a C4 prepped and ready here, waiting for them to try to walk in here as things stall out just a little bit. Impulse, though, barely in the doorway there, and Ymir ending that out with, what, a 4K?
That was a 4K from Ymir.
And now it does put them a little bit closer to trying to bring this back to a 4-4 here, as Blackhole still is ahead 4-3 here for Nocturns, but a beautiful defense round to start them off here on their defenses as we get into our next round. And now we're going to see that Mira coming into play here, which we saw already before from the side of Blackhole here. And now you have to pick, who do you want to get rid of? You want to get rid of the Miras whenever that ban phase comes out? Do you want to try to play and get rid of maybe Thorns perhaps, or something else that's causing some issues? You know, you have so many options, and you have to figure out which one is going to be that highest priority here, as you sadly only have 3 bans going into it. And
I just seen the gears turning in Toxic's head and the light come on with his last message. Wait, you're a crutch. I'm expecting a Rooney ban after this one. They know if they can maybe get that DMR out of Ymir's hands, they have a better chance.
I mean, that's only one of how many DMRs? You got 2 Varao that you could still play. You have the Goyo, the Cade. There's a billion different DMRs you could use. Now, granted, I will say Rooney's is probably the top pick. Yes.
Those DMRs, they have that different, they're a little bit slower fire rate, different damage cycle, way more recoil, and that TCSG is just, it's a slug shotty at the end of the day. It's not quite the same prowess that this MK14 brings.
Now, also getting into it now here, if Soldier's not careful, he will get shot from behind or the side here, and just as I spoke about it here, Vera though getting taken out almost instantly after taking down Soldier, but that's your shield gone off the board here, and Tadix very low as well, and Diffuser is now somewhat stranded in this hallway that they have to find a way to play through.
Ymir also going in to try and provide some coverage to help with that breach hole. They did, like I said, well, as you were saying, they lost Vera there. That was their main holder. We're going to see Mako drop off and now just play his Mira for bathroom. You don't have to worry quite as much. Don't even leave him a swing angle. Don't leave him a walkthrough. Drop back, play it safe. Drones now coming in, spotting out. They know exactly where, I believe that was Yojin's playing. And they are starting to take the aggression forward. Tadix so low here.
And Toxic here watching for that C4. He is aware that that mirror is sitting there more than likely with his C4 prepped and ready. Ymir though getting a kill and again letting that DMR sing here as down goes your ace.
Tadix playing now up and close to that breach right where Mira just was. But Mira more concerned with his actual doorway through, less about the breach hole. He knows the only place he can die from or actively get swung from is this walk-in. Yojin gonna find Impulse. It's now down to Fallen and Tadix to try and stack up and make a play here. Now Mako, I don't want to say he's a free gimme pick, but they can double swing and power him out. Fire's going in. It's gonna push him around a little bit. But no, the fire falls short and Mako still has corner control. A swing in from Fallen, gonna drop him down. As we see Tadix go in for the double swing team up, but Ymir from a long angle pulls 2. Waiting, baiting, he knows Fallen's right there. Fallen trying to pre-fire and swing it through, comes in, gets the pre-fire up onto Ymir. Now it's a 1v2 and Scorpion playing up and aggressive off these bunks. Yojin showing where he's holding. Fallen gonna walk himself up and in. Takes Scorpion down. Fallen up to 3. Looking for number 4. Finds it as Yojin goes down as Blackhole pulls themselves up by another 2 rounds.
And I mean, oh my god, there. I mean, I was expecting we might see a hero play here or there occasionally. Here now we see it from Fallen. They're absolutely clutching up a 1v3 there for his team, now putting them 1 round away from match point here as we go 5-3 into our next defense. And we are going to see them go first floor. And again, bringing out that Thorn here and a few other trap offs as well with it. Fender on the board, that Malusia again, and a smoke. So it looks like a very heavy trap hold that we're going to see from the side of Nocturns going into this cafeteria. Now, with the fact that it is a heavy trap hold here, I have to say you didn't bring out an zombie or anything, so Infirmary's kind of free to take if they don't pay too much attention to it or don't play it too much. Now again, you do have that Fender, so you could put those on the walk-ins or so, but again, I have to say a zombie is huge inside of Infirmary to be able to hold that, and it does look like they're just going to kind of give it up for free.
Yeah, there's not quite the Infirmary prep that we've seen out of Blackhole here, but they are finally laying down some barbed wire. And there's no heavy vertical presence this time. I mean, it seems like Nocturns may just be ignoring the upstairs.
Which, we are going to see a shield coming out here from Impulse. A Ying as well on the board here, which could mean we might see a heavy push into sight once they do clear this upstairs here. Nomad's going out here as they do work their way to clear things out with both the drones and these players walking through everything. And Buck taking a lot of damage here as Ymir says, all right, I'm going to back down these stairs just a little bit here, play a little bit safer after I get a few hits off.
Yeah, Ymir looking to try and be that guy to bring the pressure upstairs. He does have now Yojin, who came up the other side of the map, retaking and having Museum. These two need to maybe stack up and play a refrag off one another and just start countering this vert. Because we can hear Toxic over there with the buck shotgun starting to rip the map open. Playing all around. They are setting up the quick play as Impulse is outside looking for his entry point. Shots are ringing out. Yoshin does eat a little bit of damage, gets away. Ymir still providing coverage. Tactics will go down though to Vera, but Toxic able to find Ymir and get the guy off their flank. Ying's rolling in now from Soldiers. They're going to start to clear it down below. Fallen going to sense off the guy who's playing right next to him. That's Vera. Vera to go down to Toxic. Good spray from up above. Impulse is now into Infirmary. He'll find Scorpion, get the down onto him. It's Mako left to do a 1v4. Live pings, though, are up. They have the cams. He's in behind the Blackbeard, moving forward. As long as he makes no noise, he's good. We do hear some of these traps starting to go off from Fenrir as Mako's in, but he gets swung from the Infirmary door, and that is another round putting Blackhole up to match point.
And it does look like we are going to also see on top of that a timeout called from the side of Nocturns here. And honestly, I don't blame them for it.
No, I don't either. That's a good idea to get a timeout called there. Maybe bring momentum back your way. They do have a higher win percentage after timeout still. But man,
I mean,
I don't know. They need to get some more gun skill up.
Definitely. Looking at the scoreboard here, though, I have to say it's not fully just gun skill, though. You have Ymir going 11 and 6. You have two of your players going 2-7 and 2-8. While on the side of Blackhole, every single player is going at least positive or has some assists to kind of back them up for it. You know, Soldier there who has been kind of that heavy support. They're going 3 and 5, but has 4 assists. And I mean, Fallen absolutely fragging out here, 10 and 5 with a 2.0 KD.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle, I think, between him and Ymir for the gun skill of the night.
Definitely, at least definitely starting out here for this first map. Now, I could see as Tadix and Toxic warm up here, both of them now then going for their frag out chances in the next few maps, as I have to say Tadix is typically the one that we see absolutely fragging out usually when he plays here on the side of Blackhole, and down goes that DMR, just like you said. There are Rooney and Glaz off the board here, and still leaves a lot of options for these defenders to pick from. But sadly, it does mean Ymir has to find a different gun to play here. And as I was speaking of that Tubarão, we are going to see him go for the Tubarão
Defenders
DMR
protect
here,
your bombs
which
from being
I
defused
have
by
to say is a
attackers.
pretty good, alternative for losing that Rooney.
Yeah, I mean, the Tubarão DMR, it fits the bill. It just isn't quite as nice and easy and as forgiving as what Aruni's DMR can be. A lot lower ammo capacity, a little bit more recoil, a little bit slower rate of fire. You're not quite the bullet hose that she is, but I think Uncle will get along just fine with it.
Definitely, and again though, we're gonna see here, Soldier on the Monty, bringing out that shield, just as Nocturns had done basically every round, I'm pretty sure, on the attack here. And Impulse as well on a Ying here again, which Ying and Capitao could cause some issues here if they're not careful, though. Ymir setting up some floor holes and looking to try to get a sneaky little pick here, which I think Tadix would be the one that might walk into it or so, if I was seeing the outline of the person correctly.
Yeah, I think he's waiting and just trying to bait out that main door push. A lot of teams will put somebody just to pressure it, but we're seeing Soldier yet again doing what most teams prefer and just going to be dropping a tower when the time comes.
Definitely, and I mean, definitely a lot of droning going on as they get ready for this push here. Soldier, as you said, dropping down into tower here, aware of the footholds as well here as they get some things cleared out and start to move forward here. Now, they do have a lot to have to clear here, and Ymir taking a lot of damage through the wall from the Soldier there, as I think there was a call out or a ping that went off, and that will give him a little bit of information, though Ymir missing a few of his shots there on to Tadix as he gets away scot-free from that DMR, and gives away a little bit more information of where they are. Now, I think that does leave Bathroom basically clear now for the taking.
Yeah, this defense kind of breaking the role one of Fortress. They're giving up a lot of this map control and a lot of the playstyle around it. Electing now to try and bunker themselves back in towards the bunk side over in briefing. They still have a little bit of an extension, a lot of utility out around, but not a whole lot of map control to go with it. And they're not able to get the tube route off onto the wall to stop everything, but they do manage to at least get them down to just a head hole.
And Monty here just being an absolute walking camera. Yings are gonna go in here as more shots get sent off from Soldier here. Now Mako very, very low as well, and that is gonna give them this briefing room to push into. And a lot of pressure is gone from this defense side, though. We are gonna see one of these players go downstairs first floor, though. It's Yojin who doesn't have a C4. But I'm guessing we're gonna see him go against Tadix here as he's aware of where Tadix is at. And first kill though going to Mako there as he takes down Toxic, which is that ace. Yojin getting the kill on Tadix, now a 2v5 situation, and counter is counting down here. Seconds to go. Diffuser is going down here. Fallen gets double kill for one now. Has to get the rest.
Just
Triple kill.
No. He was just unable to hit that last bullet needed. There's Yojin to hit one shot, but falling off the side of the box. Gonna clutch it up for his team. Sending us into map 2. 7-3 up for Blackhole. Oh, I thought he was gonna clutch it.
And I mean, what a hell of a round there from Fallen. able to clear that up, protect the Monty to get down the defuse there, and then clean up that last and final kill, going a whopping 14 and 5 cleaning out for map 1 here as we get things set up for map 2 while I let I'm gonna let you do the talking here for a little bit as I get some things set up.
Alrighty, so map 2 gonna be Chalet. We're gonna be watching, I think, Nocturnes start out with the defense. So definitely need to rework some things for Fortress, right? Not a superb fast start, but end of the day wasn't bad. There's still 3 maps out here to play. Chalet will lean a little bit more to that defender's side. Is there gonna be a lot of off-site action to happen? As long as Nocturnes is able to keep that pressure though away from the main site and they're able to extend their bodies, extend the building, things could fall their way. Fortress, they just crumpled in a little bit too fast at times. We've seen Blackhole able to keep pressure outwards, keep the map control in their favor for a lot of their defenses, and it was a superb attacks from Nocturnes that did start them out, looking like they could take the map. They just started to falter to some of these defenses, and then when they got onto their own defending side, they were not able to lock Blackhole out quite the way they thought they were. Now, we know, in hindsight, Blackhole has been a very heavy Fortress team. I've watched them scrim it, prep it, and play it almost every time I've casted this team. I was surprised when Nocturnes pulled it, and they were heavily happy that they could have got it, but it looks like Blackhole may have just pulled out their own hand as needed. But Chalet,
Definitely.
it is Blackhole's pick. So, with it being match point, you're playing on your own pick. You got to be hyped up to punch your ticket to finals.
Yep, and I was gonna say we are gonna see already from one side though an instant wait no in all caps from Toxic, and it doesn't look like either of these teams are ready to get us started into Chalet here now. Again, this is a map that Nocturnes has to take here to keep them from going down to lower bracket here, which in turn we would see possibly a rematch depending on how this Friday goes. Now, we are going to see one of these teams sadly go down to that lower bracket, which does mean that we have to wait a little while before we get that finals game casted, as we have, I think, 2 lower bracket games that have to get played. But it does mean we're getting close to an ending turn here, and Blackhole has been absolutely working through this upper bracket here, and I mean, Chalet here now isn't their pick, which means that a lot of this is going to come down to if we can see the typical siege play of where teams do sadly lose their choice.
Yeah, that's been a big thing within the community for like ever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You never win your own map.
It's very seldom, though we have seen plenty of teams go 2-0 where they were able to clear out their map choice, but it's definitely a very seldom thing that you see, as well as it's just not super common, though it depends on the teams playing, it depends on who is playing who, and a bunch of other factors basically to it here though. And hopefully these teams should be ready here soon from both sides, as I'm hoping we'll be able to get into this Chalet map here soon, as we are going to get a ready from the side of Nocturnes just as I say that. Now we're just waiting for a ready from the side of Blackhole, which we had gotten two, but then an instant wait, no, we're not ready. So we're sadly a little bit in a waiting game here, though a little bit ahead of schedule here. And for bans, I'm really thinking we're gonna see some basics, but also probably some shield bans coming into play here. And I will say I am gonna get it ready from both sides. So if you are ready I'm gonna get this game started up right now.
I'm ready.
Alrighty, we are gonna get right into it here then. And like I said, for bans, I'm expecting that we might see some shield bans coming in to play here again. possibly taking out that Monty who we saw Soldier run quite a bit there on Fortress there, and maybe also an early pick taking that DMR off the board, though again, for a map like Chalet, that leaves two really strong operators, a Zombie or Mira on the board here, which could in turn cause other issues. Which, now I have to say, both have, you know, easy ways to get rid of them. It just takes a decent bit of utility. Now, first picks off the board, and as I'm speaking about those two, we are going to see a Mira off the board, as well as a typical Ying band. Will we see that Grim to match with it, though, or maybe an Ace to pair with it? It's what I'm kind of expecting to see here. Now, if they do go for a shield ban, I wouldn't blame them. You know, Soldier had been absolutely walking through them as a walking camera there. And, Cade band coming out, as well as that Bravo, which you've been talking about before, which Bravo still is going to surprise me just a little bit, though instantly seeing a heavy trap pick coming into play here. And again, that DMR is still on the board, and we are going to see Ymir go straight for it here on the Aruni.
Ymir's gonna dive on that DMR every time like it's a hand grenade, I'm telling you. Next set of bans, it's going out. They do elect now to start down bar games. And of course, the vertical extension should happen. I'm not saying it will, I'm not saying it is, but it should. They are prepping everything up for site, and there it is, the upstairs setup from Yojin. Now, there's a usual game I like to play of how much utility are we going to see them stack inside of this upstairs blue hole. Right now, it's not looking like a lot, and they don't have the alt picks that you use to just full stack this with utility. But between that Fenrir and that shield, this is going to be a very, very hard push out. But they don't have anything to catch or stop grenades. So, an Ash or a Zofia, and you'll get a quick, easy clear up here. Or, as we see Fallen breaking out the Flores. A little bit more of a challenge to hit the shield, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, and already looking to see possibly a trophy over push there from the side of Impulse here, and Toxic going up on the rappel there. Impulse now already downstairs here, clearing out this basement and starting to spearhead through things now. A little bit cautious of things, though. I think he is hearing that one above him that is inside of kitchen there. And Scorpion taking a lot of damage as well already off the board. Yojin taking down Tadix, though, and that's a decent bit of utility gone.
Oh yeah, he got rid of this Swiss Army knife for his first kill. Now trying to battle with the Blackbeard, has Grim on his windows, gonna lay damage over, grenaded out and chased up by Impulse. A good hold from Yojin, bought them at least a minute so far, but Soldier gonna get that pickup onto Ymir as well. Down goes your DMR Crush. Everybody falling back now to this blue hole to try and hold. Scorpion extremely low. Let's see if Mako can make his play. But this Blackbeard is going to be a heavy, hard rush to stop, especially whenever, again, you're lacking that grenade stopping ability. He still has one in pocket, and that shield's going to fall extra quick.
And Flores Jones trying to go out to get rid of the shield, though, getting shot out here sadly, and we're gonna hear that nade going off, and down goes that shield anyways here. Grimby's as well as Rako is on constant ping here and is going to give them now the entirety of this upstairs hold here. And minute on the board, now they have to go push for site.
Yeah, everybody dropped themselves back down into safety just temporarily. Mako's still going to now be holding blue stairs, but the basement end of it to catch anybody who thinks it's safe enough to run through. It looks like Impulse and Toxic may stack up and make a grim hot drop with the Blackbeard. They don't have anybody waiting outside with the Diffuser. It's going to be actually in Toxic's hands. I'm surprised they don't make a guy jump through window. And the play was commencing now. Getting ready for the push. Impulse going to be pushing through for window. They do have Grimbees in now, back onto the Warden. Vera C4 going to hit Impulse, but he survives somehow. There's no way that Blackbeard should have lived through that C4. Running up, though, we will see Scorpion correct the wrongdoings of the game, getting the kill up. Soldier running into bar, taken down. They have yet to clear Scorpion, who is chilling back here. Vera going to find Toxic. Now falling up into a 1v2, but makes a little bit of luck as Vera will be that pick. And he is trapped upstairs for the end of the round.
And what was looking like a very good push from Blackhole there absolutely fell apart in a matter of seconds there. Now, I think they were aware of Mako having pushed down those stairs into the basement there, at least for a bit, as we did see Capitao fire out the bottom library stairs there before they moved around for their push. And
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
sadly, it was just not enough here to hold this out. And Nocturnes now taking that first round, which you really want to take on your defense here, hoping to look to end this in a 4-2 split.
Well, Kitchen is yet again just another, hey, extend it upstairs, hold the map control. It's how you always play this setup. They do have the Denari. I love the Denari setups that we see for this map, dude. It plays just so interesting and weird. It looks like Scorpion's going to be avoiding the default setup for it. They are reinforcing off now fully for the office side. And you pretty much have to push through library, which is going to put you right into a Yojin spawn peak.
Yep, and I will say that Ymir isn't on that DMR this round, which I'm curious to see how that might end up playing out here now with the fact that he isn't on there.
They missed drone. They didn't see Yojin hiding in corner. He's behind Blackbeard, gets impulse off the first pick. Hot dropping now. He has that games room. And there are two players right outside. He doesn't know Tadix is right there, just standing on drone in the open. And we're going to watch Yojin still just continue on playing aggressive now. Bar side of the map, holding the cross, going to basement, continuing to outstretch this roam as long as he can. They still have full vertical control. This attacking team has got to find a way to clear these guys out.
And C4 actually prepped below from Yojin here, which means I'm pretty sure we're going to see him try to get a C4 off on the glass if he does push below, but opting to go with his better judgment as we see him go upstairs top mezzanine instead.
Well, they have this upstairs control. Mako going to be right there to buy time on the office wall. The thermite is en route. But it'll be a little bit of a slow down play for now. Just keep buying your time. There's a minute 30 left. You can definitely stop them. Toxic giving the ping up onto the C4 from Valkyrie. But yeah, she's going to take it back. He knows now that there's someone playing below. And they've got to make the adjustment on this attacking side to go clear her out. Tadix waiting to try and play forward. Going to be swinging himself up in through Library Hall. Go take that piano. I dare you is what this team is saying. They have it locked down. They have very, very solid control around the map. Still have shields up above, and there's just no easy way to crack this nut. Main breach, though, open as Mako ran out of charges, and Tadix swings deep in for Piano. Toxic gonna go down to Mako, who has the C4. Gets the headshot quick, though. Vera gonna find one. I believe Ymir went down. Soldier and Tadix still up. 2v3 situation. Scorpion dropping down below. Yojin moving up to help his team. Still has his C4 in pocket. Vera watching that hatch. And they've got live pings as well. I'm surprised we don't see Yojin trying to act on those for a C4 kill.
Sadly, I'm pretty sure his C4 is still stuck downstairs there for that walk in from the fireplace double door there. So I don't think we'll be able to see him use that.
Tadix will find one, but Yojin's there to shut him down as Nocturns pulls the second round in a row for map 2.
And I mean, this is what we need to be seeing here from Nocturnes. They need to be able to bring this back and take it in a 4-2 for their half here, and already looking really good here on their defenses. And I think Soldier tanked 2 headshots or so, or something. I'm not too sure on that one. some banters gonna go out in the chat though there. And going downstairs now, basement here is we see a Oryx come into play here as well as Solus, which again, you know, Oryx, it's an interesting choice to bring out here though. I've seen it used just to kind of zoom around the map in a sense, get some quick kills, and then just kind of bolt out of a situation.
It's honestly not a bad pick from Yojin, as we know that these guys love to bring that Blackbeard, or, well, Soldier was bringing out the Monty earlier. So he's kind of a direct counter, plus Yojin's playstyle is very heavy on the gunning and running. So with him having his own escape route capabilities whenever he wants them, it should make for some interesting gameplay out of his end. He's going to be upstairs defending now with Soldier.
And
Or Scorpion. No,
Soldier
sorry,
taking a bit of damage, as well as Ymir there on an early spawn through that main front door there into Fireplace, though not enough for either of them to get taken down here. And down goes Yojin from behind as he tries to rotate around into bathroom, not paying attention to the big window getting opened right behind him here. And now a pick goes in favor of Blackhole here, as they also are going to ping out this Ella. They're aware of where she's at and just looking to pinch her out here, though.
Oh!
Not able to hit any of the shots, and Ymir gets the kill on the impulse, and that's your shield gone. And I have to say, a bit of an over-aggression from that shield as well there, as they did try to push her out, but he had nobody really close behind him to fully kind of help.
Yeah, Soldier was extremely low too from an aggressive run out from, I believe it was Scorpion. They are starting now to assault towards bomb site. We see Tactics coming downstairs. Now, basement is a pick that we don't really see a lot of teams actually pull out anymore. But hard breach going up for main wall, grenades going deep. They want to try and clear these guys, and that will open up the walls. And that is, I believe, Vera, who is pinned in on the other side of the pillar. But Ymir up above, gonna find one over onto Fallen, and he is back up to the second floor. This man is just all about that roam game and playing over aggressive.
Yep, and now all of these players mostly bunkered in sight here, except for Ymir, who's still lurking now upstairs and could possibly get a cheeky kill from behind here. Tactics though getting to one here, and it looks like they're aware of where Scorpion is hiding.
All the guns are facing forward and watching towards the site. They don't know Ymir's on the back, but he's not making any actual play to go downstairs. And his team being forced to do a 2v3 while he waits off site. Soldier going in, taking. Tactics trying for plan A. Drop down from Ymir, going to be countered, but C4 from Mako to catch one. Soldier to go down from a spray from Scorpion. And now it's up to Toxic in a 1v2. They are split around. Toxic going to try and take the 1v1 against Mako here, but Mako gets a good swing out around, bringing the Goon Squad up to 3-0.
Yeah, and now going into this, you know, Blackhole has to try to bring back 3 rounds in a row here, and next ban phase is coming out as well, which honestly I'm not too sure what we're gonna actually end up seeing for the bans here fully. You know, there's not really too much going on that's exactly causing issues, and we're gonna see a Malusi and Capital ban coming out, which, and you know, like I said, there's not really anything that's been super big of an issue for him.
Yeah, I mean, I like the bans though. They get rid of some of that gap filler of the Malusi, which we see Nocturns bring a couple of times. Then Nocturns electing, hey, we don't want to have to deal with any of your utility usage. They're still going to stack up, put the shield up the top of blue stairs. Again, no grenade denial though. And that's the part that kind of is catching me off guard.
Yep, and Again, we're gonna see these trap ups coming out. Finally seeing Ymir again on the DMR here of Aruni, bringing that back out once more, and
I think that may have been intentional for Ymir. Just pocket the Aruni for a little bit. Don't play it out. Wait until you know she's secured, and then drop 3 rounds in a row with her. Scorpion has yet to die, by the way. May I point that out?
yeah, I mean, yeah, 3-0 here now, and not looking great for the side of Blackhole going into their map pick here, though. And I have to say, it sadly does look like we may have jinxed things a bit here. Yojin running out and taking out Toxic, and that's the Grim off the board here. And now in a 4v5 situation here. Now, Impulse already inside the building, but again, he's a shield just by himself on an island.
I was saying, he's an island that's going to be walking straight into Yojin and Scorpion's playstyle. They are waiting for him. They probably know the shield's there. Tactics is moving in now. The trophy was fallen there as well. They're going to be gunning up, trying to push these guys out. Live Ping's coming straight in onto Dining Hall, which is Yojin's play. Grenade out. Impulse going to catch him as he's forced out of position. Brings it down to a 4v4, but they still don't have any vertical control of this map. Soldier going out, repel. Let's see. Impulse finally making his push upwards. A swing from Ymir into Soldier is going to cost Ymir some HP. But they now know that there's one up and close. Soldier going to be going for a re-swing. Ymir holding a long off angle. Going to hit the head of Soldier as he goes for a re-peek. Catching a body up for his team. Back into position to watch this window. Nobody else is going to dare peek that right. No, Tactics is going right over for it. Trying to find the angle his buddy just died from. Ymir trapped in library. They are moving the shield up and in. Fallen gonna find Scorpion. Impulse is dancing with Mako. Mako throwing his grenades over to Impulse. They also have Fallen up. All of them swinging in. Getting free kills up as Mako goes down. Ymir still just hiding in his corner. I keep maybe trying to bait him into play. Smoke's coming out from Vera. He wants to try and buy his team some time. Rounds ringing right over the head of Fallen. Tactics was waiting for Ymir. They missed the drone on him, but they do catch him out later. 7 seconds left as Fallen will walk through and clear him out. Blackhole does find their first round of map 2. This is their map pick, so you got to be good at attacking your map pick, right?
Definitely, which finally, I mean, that will finally give them a round that they have very much been needing here, and one of possibly we might see 3 if they're able to bring this back up, which they really are going to need to be looking to bring that back. And maybe that round could be the turning point here, you know, for Blackhole finally able to get the round that they've been so needing from the start of this match here, and to possibly move some of that, you know, energy from map 1 into this map 2 here. And I mean, Ymir almost able to have that amazingly beautiful play there, just not able to get it from the reaction time of Tactics there, who just absolutely heard the bullets come off and went, alright, and in a sense just hooked on to the head.
Yeah, I think Ymir should have hung on to that play for just a couple seconds longer, kept that one ready. Because if he waited, he could have had, you know, an easier kill. You've seen the Flores stopping to, you know, maybe let off a drone or even just try and find his angle down into bar. Would have gave them time to clear out of the room. Or he should have swung when they were trying to kill Mako. Hindsight is 2020. Up into this round, it's going to be downstairs into that kitchen yet again. Full vertical extension as they are getting everything set up. Yojin set up with that Fenrir to buy a bunch of time. Scorpion right there with them.
Yep,
See what push we got.
I mean,
Tactics.
lots of drones are going out here now this time, making sure not to miss drone even a single corner as they start to push here and advance toward the master bedroom office side here and try to clear things out. Now, Fenrir could cause some issues here for them, as well as Mako here playing with that DMR inside of office. And again, you know, you also have one other hiding tucked away in Solar here, watching for that Solar hop in.
Oh, Grenada from Tactics will start to maybe clear these bandits, but he's got Mako up above to find the pick down. The two brows still in place, able to deny this wall a little bit longer. Now those bandit charges bought them some time. Mako's gonna have to buy the rest. Grenade coming up for him again, but he gets the wall froze one last time. Bullet going down into Impulse, and he's got one clearing up through his office. Now it's Fallen. Mako doesn't even hear him. Fallen picks that first pick. And he's watching now back towards the backside. Scorpion gonna be found by Soldier. Ymir C4 up onto Fallen. Back to a 3v3. The shield is still alive. But Vera has something to say about that as he sends his smokes in there. Hurts Impulse a little bit. He is extremely low. A couple good plays like that and he could get a kill. Fast rotate coming over from Soldier there, looking for Yojin. And he walks right into his line of sight. Soldier to go down. Yojin now swinging over. Finds one up on a Toxic for that 2K. Impulse rushing through the smoke of Vera, but he will be taken down by it. Nocturns pulling up the 4-1.
And now everything relies on this next round here. Blackhole has to bring back one more round on this attack to at least stick in for a 4-2 situation, because I have to say, on a chalet, going 5-1 is not a great start going into your defense. That means you have to win all 4 of your defense rounds first starting out in a row to even bring that back to a 5-5, which I have to say is a lot of pressure.
Looks like Nocturnes may be starting to warm up and feel themselves for this map. Yojin locking in, but it's not like the kill discrepancy we've seen off that first map. Everyone's a lot tighter in kills, except, you know, you got your fragger, of course. Over on the side of Blackhole, they're, you know, pretty close as well, all within 5 of one another. But Toxic still has yet to find his first.
I mean, I have to say, getting into it here, and sadly, one of the main things that we do know of is that getting that first kill in a round is usually one of the hardest ones to do here. You know, as soon as you're able to get that first kill, though, you know, typically things seem to work and look a little bit better in your favor there, but you have to get that first kill to at least start steamrolling things.
I would say you get
Now,
the first, the rest kind of flow after that.
Ymir here is waiting here, bottom fireplace by this double door for somebody to accidentally walk by not knowing he's there, but sadly it doesn't look like anybody is going to be coming from that direction here. It looks like we're going to see a top clear along with a site push here as the Soldier gets ready with these nades going into the drone hole, and I think that is going to secure them the wall. Tadic's getting the first kill onto Scorpion, and oh my lord.
That was a big opening pick there because Scorpion was kind of their upstairs player. They get Toxic to find Ymir. That's his first kill. Left down to 1 HP from it, though. And I think we saw what was going to be a default take through the snowmobile wall. Instead, we see everybody start rotating up and maybe starting to push a different vertical angle. Yojin, though, goes up, retakes kitchen side, is droned out. But playing how he is, he's got every ability to just dive around this map as he sees fit. Jumping through the damage that the spray does manage to keep himself alive. The ram up above, gonna be an annoyance play. Tax still has one left in his pocket and can open up so much of this map. I think we need to see Yojin get active on the second floor.
Definitely, you know, I am hoping we might see a bit of a backstab here from Yojin, as these players seem to somewhat have, you know, moved around from where he was. So dropping back into sight now, and we have all three of these players here playing close in sight. Vera with the shotgun, which how he is still alive there, I have no idea though. Down goes Vera, and now it is a 2v4 situation here as these players slowly condense into sight here, and now everything left up to Yojin playing above though. Tadic's still there as well, waiting for him, and that will luckily secure Blackhole and that 2-4 split, which on your attack, I have to say, is what you typically aim for here now. Going into our defense rounds, and I have to say I'm kind of expecting we might see at least one shield ban coming into play here, considering how consistently we saw shields being brought out from the side of Nocturns there on Fortress.
Yeah, they tend to lean very heavily into the Blackbeard plays to break their way forward, but the Grim being gone, that's a big utility piece to try and get themselves into the map. You know, at least execution-wise, they get rid of that. The zombie ban I absolutely adore because that architect just changed the map however she sees fit. I don't know what even you'd ban out the rest of that. Those two bans are perfect. Ying to Frost, okay. Full execute deniability then.
Yep, and that does leave though on the board a Mira, which we already see Soldier instantly on the Mira getting ready as well. Toxic on that Aruni DMR, and
Defenders,
I have
protect
to
your
say,
bombs.
I will say we sadly as well see again the shield coming into play here. Mira on a Blitz shield, getting ready to play a bit aggressively on that. Now, I have to say, I would think that they might opt to change to go for maybe a Blackbeard instead, bring those nades out to help counter a bit with this Wamai and burn his utility.
Yeah, something to just, you know, make an easier push for themselves. You know they're going to be setting up top blue hole. They don't have a shield on board, though. So, you don't need too much active utility. Maybe, you know, they got a couple of grenades in hand and then a bunch of smokes. I still see a good execute coming towards site here, just based off of Ymir and Vera's play. Are we going to see a window execute?
We might see a window execute come into play here.
We do. A fast rush in from Vera, going to be chasing the Mira down. They get into sight. Scorpion right up and behind. Gun loaded. Yojin through mud to find the other pick. Toxic will find Ymir, though, up above. But they've got sight control. And honestly, I will not be surprised with a plant attempt. Impulse to go down as he drops the hatch. They got one on their basement stairs. It's the Valkyrie. And Vera looking to maybe try and chase him down, but there was a hot drop into stock. And they have Scorpion kind of tied between two places. Toxic dropping down. And a beautiful play for Vera, just using his shield to cover his planter. Scorpion still in bar with the gun up. But Toxic ripping the quick double, or Tadic's actually ripping the double. Mako with grenades going to be sending them in. They've got to deny this planter for a little bit, right? 25 seconds on. Grenade goes out. Tadix goes down. Mako just has got to keep defending planter. And Toxic going for the bait. Will rip the kill. 3K up on him for Blackhole. And that gives them
And
now
I mean, what a round
the
there
push to tie.
to start us off on that swap. I mean, absolute chaos there. You know, we see that Blitz just in sight. They are rushing to try to get control, and sadly not able to fully take it over as we see two picks going in favor of Blackhole that they very much had needed there in the end, and will bring them now 3-4, which is a kind of flip situation from what we had seen last map, where
Defenders, protect your
going
bombs
into
from
that
being defused
defense,
by attackers.
Nocturns was down. They were able to get that attack after that first round on attack. And are we going to see a kind of copy paste this swapped around here for the side of Chalet?
That was honestly a great execute. Just a little bit of a misplay there after the plant. They lost a couple bodies early on. But the shield play out of Vera, I think, was just put that on top. Toxic had the ability to maybe move and swing an angle. Instead, Vera put himself right in the way of every round coming out of his boy.
Yep, and getting into it here as we are going to see this a kitchen dining hold and heavy extension both I think downstairs and upstairs as we see Tadix roaming around in basement here, and then 3 of these players upstairs leaving Soldier alone to kind of control site though here with that Maestro. I mean, as long as they don't push into site as heavily as they did last time, Soldier should be mostly fine here.
Well, they're lacking the shield this time, so it means we're going to see a little bit of a slower execute style. Ymir going to be setting up the track stingers so to cover their walk up from behind. And the execute is moving now library side. Main breach almost opened up there by Vera, but it is stopped momentarily by Toxic. Tuberow is in action, so it should shut him down at least for now. I expect, though, to see some play down below to try and get these walls open. Toxic now entirely out of charges, trying to bait the swing is Scorpion. Toxic going for it, biting the bait, but no landing shots either way. Now entirely out of tube charges. Walls will come open absolutely everywhere. Vera now going in to try and get open the main wall to sight. That one's going to be a free give me as well. There's nothing left for denial. The drone's pushing through, not able to find anybody yet. They're clearing out, making sure their bar side is still clear. Yojid slow walking himself up through Library Hall. Drones are ahead of him. They want to figure out where everybody's at. Fallen going to be droned out. Toxic there is covering the cross angle, but now he's trying to watch down below. They've got to get this Phantom pressure upstairs going. Right now, all guns are aimed at the primary push and nobody else.
Yojin here, who is in piano, just sneaking his way inside and getting past Fallen here with only a little bit of damage taken, though not paying attention from behind there as Fallen is able to finish that up, though Scorpion instantly getting the kill. Impulse trading that right back out here, and now watching for that walk in here, getting Ymir down as well. Now everything left up to Vera here, who is in sight with the Fuser, but it's a 1v2 situation here. Not enough time on the board really to do too much, and Vera will go down there, and that will send another round here in favor this time of Blackhole. Now evening this out 4-4 here.
Excuse me. Yeah, it looks like Blackhole is just waiting to get on the defensive side of this map before they start heating up. Pulling 2 straight now. I mean, we did see Nocturns start their defenses very well as well. It's interesting to see who plays
Attackers
what.
need to locate and defuse.
We're seeing, I believe that was what, Tadix being happy there?
Another connector needed.
I think so.
There was also a team kill that last round, by the way. Vera absolutely just clapped the back of Mako's head.
Yeah.
So, electing to bring it upstairs in the office, I don't think we've seen Nocturns pick this site once their entire time.
I think that would be correct going into here as yeah, they did not bring this out here, which they chose to go basement instead actually over a top floor hold, as I mean, you know, in some technicality they did hold upstairs, just not with a bomb site upstairs.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Now,
Nocturne's whole gig was a heavy roam presence, a good roam around. Blackhole is settling in more for a bit of a bunker style with a little bit of aggression off-site, but even their room isn't that deep. They just have one solar, then they just move Tactics down into dining, which very common play to deny below, and it keeps your ability to maintain the wall a little bit stronger.
Yep, and I definitely what they need here, as forest drones are gonna go out here, seeing a soldier who's gonna be able to get away in time there from it, and it looks like mostly a library over kind of push here. Not a lot going on the solar side at all, and if they're not careful, I'm worried that Tadix might push over through dining, and if he's aware, maybe we'll get a kill from behind. Grenade going out, which I think will barely miss Toxic, as Toxic just really gets back to sight past the Monty there.
Monty is now up though onto the half wall, or onto the wall here. There's head holes across, and they're trying to get Vera to come in and get this wall ripped open. The issue is there's so many angles to swing up from. Monty gonna make the jump out now to play over onto the door, which is gonna buy all of Impulse's attention so that Vera can get in there and get a free wall open. Gonna come open, and he is still just going for the melees. Ymir gonna find Soldier. That is one player out from behind, and the collapse is underway as balcony control is theirs. They are now holding library. The head holes originally in play will not matter that much anymore. But Vera gonna go down to a quick, easy swing from Impulse right around the back end of this Monty.
Nope, and oh yeah, we're gonna see Tadix just chilling downstairs. He's got 2 impacts in hand, which could be really useful for a post-plant situation.
Yojin and Mako making the play together, get that kill, but Toxic able to find one, goes down, falling up for the refrag for his boy though. Mako and Scorpion to a 2v2 against Fallen and Tadix. The Monty rush going in. There's Scorpion up with his teammate. The Monty going down. Tadix with a 2K.
Oh my
Blackhole
God.
reclaims the lead.
And now going into our next ban phase here, and I will say we did see some banner telling them, you know, if you don't want him playing that Solace, then ban it, which I hate to say, we might see a Solace come out. I'm hoping we don't though here. Maybe we'll see, you know, probably, hopefully like Castle, something else, something else. Dari, okay, I can sit for a Dari here. And a shield ban as well coming into play. They said, you know what, we're tired of you playing these shields, or at least playing the Monty here, and we're gonna take it off. Wait, Solus again, should have banned a Rooney. And yeah, that does leave that DMR again for Toxic to
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused
kind of
by
let sing
attackers.
here, as he is finally getting some kills on the board here, now up 5-7 here from when he was 0-5. Now,
Yeah, this map
I will
absolutely
say,
flipping on its head now as Blackhole took their defenses.
yeah, and as well on top of that, now this time, this map is clearly Tadix's map here, as he's going a whopping 11-4 here, contesting against Yojin, going 11-7.
Excuse me. Yeah, Tadix 1 kill off a 3.0 KD. I mean, as long as he doesn't die these next 2 rounds, he could put up one of the most impressive stat lines we've seen in a very long time.
Yep, and I mean, again, playing below here, and hopefully, you know, hopefully things will go well here. You know, he has that C4 in pocket, though. If we look across over here, Yojin is also pushing downstairs in car garage here, and we're gonna see our 2 top frags here now possibly go at it as we get started into it here, and it looks like Tadix is like, you know what? I know you're there. I'm just gonna kind of run away a bit. Put a little bit of pressure and, you know, evade from the situation.
That's not a bad idea. Yojin now slow walking up to get the clear. Tadix still within range to get a counter up. Phone call out. Yojin needs to swing off that. Tadix gonna get that phone hung up real quick though. And he knows right where Yojin's at. Play up above though. We do see Vera getting main wall of office ripped open to try and take control of this blue hallway. Again, the vertical clear has got to happen. Ymir still trying to play through his smokes with his glass. I think Sight might honestly be a free take, except for Soldier, who's playing down in Games Room.
Yep, I mean, again though, you have Tadix here who's just prone in this hard wire, waiting for Yojin here though, realizing he might be better useful to his teammates if he is playing around Sight here with him, which is gonna leave Yojin to freely just kind of lurk around basement.
Ymir gets a great opening rip there on the Soldiers. He heard the C4 rip. Tadix, though, from below gets another C4 up. There's the 3-point KD.
Yep. Now, Yojin sending out a call here and lurking up these stairs here, which, unaware, Toxic is going to get down here from it, now in a 2v3 situation. And everything comes down to getting to Sight here. Cameras are also going to get taken now, and Fallen actually playing down in basement here. Not completely with Tadix, who is alone in Sight at this point.
Tadix has good positioning. He's covering for the hatch drop. They've got to make a play happen and make it happen now. Because there's only 5 seconds on board. Fallen will find Vera. That was Diffuser. Diffuser now down. Running through the stalk. Scorpion going to get dropped as well. Now Yojin trying to chase the kill down. Blackhole going to put us up into match point. Going 4 rounds straight. 5 rounds if you counter attack. And now Nocturns are going to pull their own timeout.
And I hate to say it, you know, again, you know, you're in a 6-4 situation here, which I'm pretty sure is now a complete copy to how map 1 went eventually, where it did go into a 6-4 here, where timeout was called from Nocturne's side, and they have to make something work. Now you have Yojin here struggling to hold on here, trying to keep his team afloat, going 12-7 and absolutely spearheading this map, though. It isn't enough to fight off Tadix here with that 3-point, I would say what? 3.2-ish?
For Tadix?
13-4, 3.2.
Yeah. Give it like a 3.2.
3.2-ish. Somewhere around there. We're not doing the math right now. We're not paid enough to do math here. But 13-4, and I have to say, I did kind of jinx it here, as I did mention earlier in Fortress, that Toxic and Tadix, once they warm up, Tadix being one of those that he absolutely frags out. And I mean, he is one of the top fraggers from Blackhole when we see him play, so I mean, there's not much you can really do against him at this point. Yeah. Words are not wording at this moment, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And again, bringing that mirror out this time though, Fallen on the mirror, Soldier on an Echo here, which for a post-plant situation could be huge. But kitchen and dining here again, and we see a lot of setup going upstairs here in office and master bedroom as these players get ready to play up top here. Tadix again though roaming downstairs and putting up a little bit more of some sound notifications in the case that Yojin does push downstairs below to try to clear him out again. And we'll see how this goes. Now Brava is on the board here, and there's not too much for her to grab except for, you know, cameras, an Echo drone or 2 if they're able to, maybe all 3.
That was a
And these
spawn
elements,
kill.
a very early kill here on 2Impulse, who I think was trying to get a cheeky little spawn peek, working not in his favor as Blackhole gets the kill there. And now that puts them in favor here. Yep, and we are going to see that Echo Drone already getting taken here. And that could pose some issues.
Since getting his walls up a little bit early, just so that they have, coverage provided later. However, they all fall short of covering the full main breach area. Upstairs push is starting to commence as we have Vera and Yojin and up in top Mez. Scorpion going to be clearing over from the game side, but he's coming up to help join the assault up above. Now, what they got to watch for is Toxic. These two brows are going to slow wall push down, so you don't want to use all of your momentum in one go. And Mako just horrible with these sense gadgets, misses another one. I'm sorry, Mako. I had to call it out. The first one sat there and bounced inside of the drone hole. The second one went through, was shot. The third went through, was shot. The fourth one missed the hole entirely. That's going to be now main breach to office open.
And another Echo Drone actually getting stolen here as well now, and I think that is Ymir up to 2 of these Echo Drones now. And aware of where Soldier is playing here, as well as this Amira, and that's going to give a lot of information if they're not aware and they're not careful.
Really, all they have to do on the side of Nocturns now is just rush somebody in, use your life to get that plant down, and you have the echoes to deny the plant. Grenades going deep off the smoke, but they do lose Yojin. Ymir has got to stay up. He's the guy who controls these drones. Scorpion gonna find Toxic. We got Ymir trying to swing in. Soldier still has a drone though. I thought they took them all. That was one chilling in basement.
Took 2 out of 3.
Mako going for plant again. They're gonna lose his drone this time. Mako being shot from up above by Tadix. Tadix still has control of that office. Mako to go down. Ymir is down. Vera gonna find one. He's got 2 of them, but Tadix up above gonna win the round out. And that punches the ticket for Blackhole's finals appearance. What a set
and
of
that
matches.
will send Nocturnes now into that lower bracket, and Blackhole continues to spearhead. Tadix ending 15-4. And oh my gosh. I mean, that is definitely what, a 3.5 or so.
You can hear him in there asking for the money already. The grand finals appearance, put the stamp on, lick it, close it up. They're going to show up. The invitations now in the mail.
Yep,
Nocturnes
and,
appearing for lower bracket. And I believe, what is it? Dads & Co. versus Lunar Abyss.
Yeah, it would be Dads & Co. and Lunar Abyss this Friday that we'll be seeing coming out into play here. So really curious to see how that'll end out there. But stay tuned for that, and one of those teams will be going home.
And then we're going to have, I think, a really good duel because Lunar Abyss and Dads & Co. Lunar Abyss did upset Dads & Co. earlier on in the season. Dads & Co. are out for blood. They want to make this grand finals. So just give you the assumption that Dads & Co. walks through that map. The showdown between Nocturnes and Dads & Co. will be absolutely fire, and I expect to see maybe a Dads & Co. Blackhole finals.
Honestly, we might, which would be a absolutely stunning game to see, as Dads & Co. has gone against Blackhole before already, and in the group stages, Blackhole was the only team to actually pull a round up. It wasn't until we got to playoffs in which Lunar was able to send them to the lower bracket. And I am going to say I did get a reply here from the side of Blackhole with who they want to send up for an interview. So if you're ready to get into interviews, I will I'll get them dragged up into here.
I'm actually going to be ending before we get the interviews going because I'm going to go to bed. I feel horrible. Everybody in the streams, thanks for stopping out. Make sure to check Honeybun out on Friday. You'll be streaming the lower bracket quarterfinals. That's the Dads & Co. versus Lunar game. I will be on my way to Cincinnati for the Queen City Clash. So anybody who's watching who's going to be there, I'll see you there. Thanks, guys, for stopping in.